Well, welcome back. I am back at Dave's shop today. We are back on Fillmore, and hopefully we'll be able to get this motor actually attached to this rear axle today. That's my goal, or at least to figure out how that works, because I believe the plate on ours, and I'll turn this around, that heat dispersing plate that Dave had brazed back together, I don't think we'll need. The top of this newer motor has an aluminum cover, and I think that probably disperses the heat much better than that. I believe that's cast iron piece. So what I think I'm going to do is remove the top of this, have a peek how it will connect to this other half, and then we'll kind of go from there. So if you haven't yet, like, comment, subscribe, let us know how we're doing, and most definitely, thanks for watching. Awesome. So first thing we're going to do is just take off this top plate on this motor, and I think this is a 3/8 here. Yeah. Yeah, it's a really nice day. I hope everyone's enjoying their afternoon. It's always nice to be working on Fillmore again. Get so busy in the summer doing so many different things. Summer's short-lived here in Montana, so you gotta do as much as you can while you can before it goes back to being freezing cold. It's always winter and never Christmas or something. All right, so then this is our motor mounts here, and so I think this is where our plate's going to go. So you can see this is the old heat dispersing plate I talked that we dropped and ended up brazing back together, but this one feels like it's cast iron, and I don't think it's going to do as well of a job as the one that came on it, which is this aluminum plate. And what we're going to do is we're going to be mounting it this way, and then we can mount the motor on, and we'll bolt them back on the opposite direction. So that should be how this goes on. So we'll get these out. I believe I've just got them kind of hand screwed in. I believe they're halves on these. Let me double check. No, 9/16. I was like, oh, I can't remember. Most of the stuff on this was a lot of the same bolts and things, which was good. That's smart for when you're working in a factory and you want everything to be very consistent. Awesome. So then this ring should fit into the inner side of this. So we'll put this on here, and it should center in, which it does. And then we should be able to slide these bolts back in. I'm just going to make sure that washer fits flat. Yeah. So we'll throw a couple of these bolts in real quick. Awesome. So we're gonna slide this motor on if I can. It's heavy. Try to line up our splines. There we go. And we may have to get a little creative with getting these bolts in, because they're going to be pretty close to this axle. We'll see. I've got one end there. Looks like my board was lined up pretty good for pretty much hand-eye in it. Let's see. Feels good to be getting to this part, though. We have been working on Fillmore a long time. Me and Dave, well, I have 2 other jobs, and Dave does a lot of other things, so it's been a time process, but ooh, I don't even know if we're going to be able to get that bottom bolt in. It may be really difficult. We may have to get a shorter one. Let me see if I can get an extension on the other side here. Awesome. So that's the motor mounted on. I have 3 of the bolts, in 1, 2, and 3 here. The 4th one, let me grab that for you guys, is a bit long, so I'm having trouble slipping it underneath to get it in. What I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to go see about getting a bolt that's shorter. I probably could lose, maybe if I can get like 3 or 4 threads, so maybe one about that long. So I'm gonna mark this bolt so we can get that, and then we'll get to working on the wiring as well too. So because that'll be the next step, is to get this plugged in. We have our batteries, 2 of them there and 2 of them there, that I need to get into combination to get 48 volts to run this motor. So that will be our next step. Let me mark this bolt, and then we'll see about what we're working on next. Going through the wiring diagrams for the back and front, and trying to, this is the main one I've been working off of, and then also off of the back side of it. So that's how I'm trying to figure out which wire is which on the harness that I have here. I can't remember right off the top of my head what machine this particular harness came off of, but it's all coming together. I've got our solenoid over there soaking, and then I just made sure these are headlight bezels. These are going to be some of our jumpers. I do have to get a few more jumpers so we can jump the connections to the batteries, and then I have our longer cables that are going to be running motor and I believe it goes gear selector, battery. It's all connected, so we're gonna see about getting all that hooked up too. But motor's on, which is really nice. So, but we're gonna keep working at it. It's a really nice day here. We're about to move Fillmore into the other shop, and I'll show you guys that. And then Cole's here. He's gonna work on getting the battery tray fitted in the way we want it. So I think Joy's over here taking a nap. Yeah. So thanks for tuning in. We're in the bigger shop today. Dave actually moved his motors down to the other shop because he had a ton of motors in here, but we are getting ready. Cole, our buddy that's going to be on the channel here a little bit on and off, he's a welder, and we're measuring out. We're going to add some trays. Instead of spreading these bars out, we're going to add some trays on top to hold one battery here, have a 3-inch separation here, and hold the other battery here. And then we should have a 3-inch separation from the wall. So he's got it all marked and measured. We'll have 1 2 battery here, and then 1 2 on the other side, and that's going to be where our battery trays are setting. And then we just have a few other things. He's going to be in the shop now for a while. We're going to get this spot, and we're probably going to end up cutting it a little bit further down and welding in that new piece of diamond plating metal, which is nice. We'll be taking this off. I have 1 hard brake line that needs to be removed, and then the brake cable for the emergency brake. Other than that, yeah, he'll be ready to be sandblasted. I am probably going to find a way to make sure that we keep the Fillmore. That way he keeps that. It'll probably end up under a grill, but I'd like to keep that either way. What do you think, Joy? Yeah, it's a good day. Joy's been having fun. We're out here at the shop. We got the been playing around with that electric motor and wiring diagram. Figure I'd take a break from that. So, but yeah. This is nice. I'm taking our steps, getting closer to getting Fillmore done. I know it's been a long project, but you know, it's a little at a time. So, anyways, thanks so much for tuning in. Awesome. So winding down over here for today, getting our motors or wires on. This one, I believe, is going to gear selector, battery. This one will go to our speed switch, and then I've also marked all the wires on the harness that doesn't belong to our machine but should work because they're very, very similar. So I've gone through it on marked, put tape on, and just marked, wrote little labels so I know where everything is. Then I started digging through some of our other switches and things we're going to need, solenoids, so I'm getting all that rounded up. I went through some of the old wiring harness, which I still have in that green tub, just to make sure that everything, if we're going to need to pull any pieces or anything, that I can either get them, replicate them, or use the ones we have. But it was great to see the motor all mounted and getting some wiring on it. So that makes me really excited. It was a long time to get all the axle together, and I just need to put some gear oil in before we actually test the motor, which hopefully we'll be getting to testing that motor really, really soon. So me and Joy actually have to go. She's over here napping, I think, right now. But we're getting ready. We got to go pick up some things for the ranch. But anyways, I hope everyone enjoyed the video. If you haven't yet, like, comment, subscribe, let us know how we're doing. And most definitely, thanks for watching.